How about a very short introduction? You know, we have, I think, 8, 9 speakers. So about just a 30 minutes introduction, who you are, what do you do? We'll start with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. As I introduced previously myself, my name is Deniz Anfari. I'm originally from Bulgaria. I have been living in Oman in the Middle East for the past 12 years. And I would like to thank the organizers of this great event for the opportunities to be here with you and to share my story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hind. I am the VP Assets Management in Experience Realty. We are a real estate firm based in Dubai, focusing on assets management and prime investments. And we are here to connect with each one of you, and you can simply scan the code, the QR code. Me and my team, we are available to assist each one of you, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Hind.
Hello, my name is Pranav Jyoti. Ooh, that's loud. I'm fifth generation in the GP with Mirai Capital. Mirai Capital was set up by the Jyoti Family Trust, which typically was aligned with creating legacy between healthcare, AI, technology, and growth validators. We work within businesses which are linked between fourth, fifth, and sixth generations. So I see a lot of people here. The value that we try to focus on is be a fund of fund and not only look at building businesses across different parts of the world, but also look at creating value for institutions and partnering with family offices that are spread between Southeast Asia, Japan, specifically for debt, and also create value that cuts across. So we try to look at working with people, we look at identifying long gestational investments, and also build value around it. Sit on the board of Blue Origin, which is Jeff Bezos' investment, and we have deep relationships between education enterprises in the US, like Purdue, in
Pranav,
India,
30 seconds are
Bitspolani,
over.
and across.
Thank you, Pranav.
Hi, Brian McMahon. I mentioned earlier on this morning what we do. For the context of this conversation, we're one of the most prolific investors in Africa, with dozens of investments in Africa in the early stage venture capital space. One of the most prolific investors in India. We're going to invest in about 500 companies in India over the next 3 to 5 years. Have got one of the fastest growing company in Africa today in our portfolio. One of the top cybersecurity companies on the planet, focusing on quantum, right here beside me. So yeah, I love this space. This is my fave panel.
Hi, Youssef. I'm just here because I'm Anthony's friend, so thank you for having me. I'm the co-founder of the Daenerys group of companies. We're a post-quantum decentralized infrastructure. We also have a venture arm. We invest in companies that we integrate and scale, and I'll keep it as short as that. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashan, and I'm a part of Sinamas Technology. We're an Indonesian large family office where we invest in large private equity and venture capital funds. Besides that, we also invest in early stage companies that are building something very exciting at the frontier of artificial intelligence, software, or deep tech. Thank you.
Oh, it's not.
Is this working now? Can you hear me? All right. Sorry. Thank you. We are one of the fastest growing business setup company in the region. We are helping SMEs, startups, and the corporations to establish not only in the UAE, also we establish in Saudi Arabia. So bringing business from all around the world to Middle East is what we cater to. We have got an in-house team for managing taxation, banking, visas, to everything, a 360-degree service, administration for any company like yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Well, I guess I'm not as good looking as my picture behind, and and I went. Yes, but I was run a multifamily office in both royal families as well as other families in the region. Focus is Gulf, Saudi Arabia to begin with, mostly, but also Bahrain and Kuwait, and then United States, and then opportunistically with Central Asia, Africa, and Latin America.
Thank you. So, Denisa, let us start with you. And you come from Al-Shanfari family, and this is a big family in Oman, which has played a significant role in Oman's economic development. How has this legacy shaped your understanding about the economic developments and diplomacy in Oman?
As a European woman coming into the Middle East, marrying into a traditional Omani family, it gave me deep sense of responsibilities on my shoulder. My late father-in-law, God bless his soul, Sheikh Said Shanfari, served Oman for nearly 3 decades as a Minister of Petroleum and 3 more ministries. It was during the era of His late Majesty Sultan Qaboos, God bless his soul. And that time was not only the time of the governance, it was the time of building the nation, the trust, and the future forward thinking. So I have learned so much from him, not about the Omani culture, but about the heritage, the way they preserved their culture through the ages. And what I also learned from him, that investments is never purely financial. It is a form of diplomacy. And at that time, on this highest level, decisions were shaping the future of the governments, the future of the generations, and the relationships between the people. So today, my husband, Sheikh Dr. Adil Shanfari, is following the legacy of his father and preserving and advising this policy, trying to help Oman, trying to ensure that the business growth aligns with the national priorities and the social responsibilities of the country. Mm-hmm. And this legacy is shaped my own approach, of course, to view as any investment as a bridge between cultures. And the economic values are very important to be aligned with the interests of the countries and the social responsibilities, I believe.
Thank you, Denise. And let's us move to Dubai now, from Oman to Dubai, which is attracting probably most of the capital in the GCC. And it's not just capital, it is entrepreneurs coming, family offices, millionaires, billionaires. What is the secret behind this? Is it regulation? Is it lifestyle? Is it security? How do you see it?
So Dubai is a mindset. Dubai is something beyond than infrastructure, than business, than anything. It's beyond than all of this. So Dubai actually is connecting the world. And we are all connected, especially with the strong and visionary leadership. His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum is welcoming the world with creating the best opportunities and making the lifestyle in Dubai comfortable for everyone. So if you are, no matter where you are coming from, no matter from which nationality, from which religion, from which gender, we are all equal here, and we are part of the success of this city and this vibrant city. So Dubai is making the impossible possible. Everyone says that Dubai is like, you want to be the tallest, you want to be the highest, you want to be the biggest, the first. Of course, we have a ruler who dared to say, yes, why not? So he worked so hard, and he have a strong future vision for this city to make it the first and the best and the biggest, and make everything possible. So if I will name the achievement of Dubai, how it succeed in this globally, the list is so long. So invest like the strong infrastructure. We have, I'm sorry, it's the first time that I speak in front of, in public.
No, you're doing great.
So, yeah. I need to.
So I think you listed most of the factors that really does attract Dubai as a destination for capital, for people, for everything. And this is why we saw this transformation in Dubai over the past 20 years. And hopefully for the next 20 years, it will continue to flow in.
Yes, it will definitely continue. And I need to name, to say something about.
To say it in short, so I can, because we're short on time.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Tell me. You want to say something?
I just wanted to say that we are blessed to be here and knows that we have a bright future in a city that we are all taken care of. And,
Sure.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Hind. Pranav, you are international. And by the way, in India, we saw the people following the news and stock markets over there. Stocks went up by more than 5% yesterday. It seems President Trump, he got jealous from the European Union because they did a trade deal with India. So he picked up the phone, he called Narendra Modi, and then he told him, let us do a deal. And then things just exploded. Pranav, when you look at the Middle East, GCC, India, where do you see the next 10 years opportunity happening?
I think one thing we need to understand and get a perspective back that the ability of Dubai, UAE, to become the fulcrum of the world is realized. And that has happened because not only has the past fulcrums of the world, be Hong Kong, Singapore, have diminished, London, Barcelona, Europe, finding it difficult, and of course, US has its own challenge. The realization and to be on objective decision matrix to do something about policy, security, being invited into, and create an environment has built what Dubai today is. And I think that gives us the ability to build not only bridges, but also create entrepreneurs who start thinking, how do we build legacy? You know, within my family, the mandate that I have is not to do anything for me, but to make sure that the children that are being born today in the family who will get into businesses 25 years from now have an opportunity where businesses have scaled up. So we look at Fulcrum UAE as becoming opportunities for the world to come. My family moved to the US 3 generations back, and of course we've worked across this part of the world, but we strongly feel that the West is going to get connected to the East more, and Dubai will play a far more integral role around it. Policy, real estate, infrastructure, also financial deliberations of creating blockchain-led policies will create an opportunity for the world to follow, and it's a center part of creating businesses globally, and that's what this Dubai is, and that is what this institution is all about.
Interesting, Pranav, especially now when you look at the map and you see where the growth is happening. It's happening in this region. Of course, China is still growing, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, and this is probably where 2/3 of the growth is coming from. So, Brian, my question to you is, what does this mean to capital flows?
So I just want to layer on top of what Pranav said first, because like he's so right. Like my comments this morning were like twofold. They were one, like do harder, do better, you know, venture capitalists and private equity people, everybody. But the second point was there's a power shift like we've never seen before. And the growth in India of 8% every year is real, and it's going to keep on growing, and it's going to become more. The diaspora, the Indian diaspora all over the world is going to become stronger. They are going to fall more in love with their homeland the more they get kicked out of the US. Like, this thing is happening. Africa's infrastructure is going to keep growing to make sure that it supports what's happening with their great partner, India. And Modi maybe is the greatest statesman of our time, and what he's achieving in actually using the chaos around him. So this is important for everybody to see. India is the story. Anybody who's not watching India and following there, you're missing out. Africa within infrastructure is going to be unbelievable. Payments and international payments are going to go off the charts. That company that I mentioned to you, Credit, is the fastest growing company in Africa. It is probably top 10, 20 fastest growing companies in the US right now based on money raised. It'll hit probably $200 million in revenue by year 4. Payments. That lady over there from Klasha is building exactly the same payments. And if we follow this shift in money and we say China is no longer the bogeyman, right? Now, China are Canada's best friends. And the UK will probably go for them as well, because they don't have many choices right now. Europe are probably going to go there as well. So China is going to be flowing money in and out. Africa is going to be taking the money. Nigeria is one of the fastest growing countries in the world. India is going to be friends with everyone. So that flow of money, international payments, in summary, is going to be massive. Those countries are going to be huge. This power shift is real. And right in the center of all of it is the power and the money in Dubai. And I thought it was very eloquently said this morning: trust, credibility, opportunity, and then there was a fourth awesome part about Dubai, which makes Dubai the chosen place to rest while navigating these places. So it is going to be huge.
Thank you, Brian.
You know, what we say, that Dubai is the best city of India.
Yes, I know this saying very well. Okay, Yusuf. So one of the things that is happening here in Dubai, it's happening in Riyadh and other GCC countries, is this big investments, tens of billions or hundreds of billions of dollars in digital infrastructure. And the question is, how much is cybersecurity becoming a core investment theme today as well in the region, rather than just an operational cost for these companies?
Thank you for that question. Basically, the way I see it is everything today relies or runs on digital infrastructure. And that digital infrastructure today is vulnerable to what we call the quantum risk. That means back to Stone Age, if you cannot face it. And today, cybersecurity is no longer seen as a technology, but is seen as a critical infrastructure, just like telecommunication or energy. Governments across the globe are making this post-quantum readiness mandatory. It's not a choice. You have to do this, else, again, you're back to Stone Age. Just like, I'm not sure whether there are some Marvel fans here, but Thanos says, I'm inevitable. Quantum is inevitable. And yeah, for me, the way I see it, and where we invest mostly is the quantum trend. It's going to change everything we know, how we process things, how we manage data, and so adoption will be there. And with adoption usually comes growth, revenue, and increase of capital.
Okay, thank you, Yusuf. Ahsan, Brian, he just touched on India and the growth that we're seeing in India. So we're talking an average of 7% now per annum, and this can continue for several years. And then the question becomes, where do you see the biggest next wave happening in India? Is it manufacturing? Is it tech? Is it a digital consumer? Where do you see the trends now building?
Thank you so much, Hussein. So given we are international investors, we often have a front row seat into looking at growth trends in different geography. So I want to build on what my dear friend Brian said a while back. There are 3 basic growth engines driving India. One is the macroeconomic tailwinds, right? So as was said earlier, the Bombay Stock Exchange has been growing by 15.5 to 16% constantly for the last 20 years, which means you can double your money every 4.5 years, right? GDP growth 7 to 8%, again, the highest amongst the developing countries, right? Now, how sustainable is the growth? I think that's an important question. Now, the debt to GDP ratio in India is about 60%, right? Whereas if you look at countries like Japan, it's 220%, US is 125. So the key fundamentals are in place. The second is the growth of the digital infrastructure in India. I think it's 1 p.m. right now. Since the time the session started, which is about 5 hours, India would have already processed about 250 million real-time mobile payments, right? So India does about 20 billion mobile payments in a month, which is more than US and Europe combined, right? Add to that, the cheap cost of data in India. India has mobile data for 10 cents, right, per GB, whereas the US is $4 to $5, Korea is $4, right? And the third aspect here is the talent density. I don't think there's any other geography in the world that has talent as dense as India. You have 5 million software engineers, you have 3 million STEM graduates coming out every year, which is second only to the US. And given India's demographic dividend of median age of 28, India is going to add 140 million people to the global workforce in the next 6 years. Guess how much China is going to add? China is going to subtract by 70 million. So I think these factors combined, I think there's massive growth potential in India, in fields like artificial intelligence, in software, which is where I believe that India and UAE is actually the perfect marriage. Thank you.
I want to add something on that. The focus of Indian economy is today globally only looked at what the measured user interface is, which is actually being looked at from a very European mindset. So people who pay tax, who have a credit card, who can pay your SaaS bill. We have to understand that 80% of India doesn't pay tax. 80% of India does not have a card which enables them to build value. But they are still consuming. They are also becoming richer. So while technology will enable us to build an infrastructure to bring them in, what we today look at is contribution for technologies who can use it to benefit the world. And that's the vitality of building businesses for tomorrow and generational wealth really coming up, non-institutional, not capital that is in the bank, not capital which is in sovereign funds, but it's into families, cohorts, traditions who actually are willing to sign off on capital.
Pranav, with that, I'll go to duty with a question like, if I'm a family office today and I give you a $1 billion of capital and you have to allocate it geographically, how do you go with it?
Well, it will really depend on what you're looking for and what is the ideal goal for the family office. Now,
you have the freedom to do whatever you want with it.
I will actually put the money in Dubai today, if you ask me, because the way Dubai is growing, for sure, Indian GDP is growing 8% every year. However, Dubai and what's coming up in the entire Middle East, especially in UAE region, is incredible in next 6 to 10 years. Well, it all matters because of the stability in the government here. The taxation which has been introduced recently is quite stable and quite known and understandable to everyone. It's very easily measurable and still for the SMEs as well, it's easier to start up here and try. Also, massive help for development of AI in this region has brought in a lot of capital and a lot of talent in this region. So yes, if I have that money, I'll definitely inject mostly in the Middle East and here in UAE.
All right, Lord Carmen, tell us how the perspective have changed from the US to Europe towards capital investing in the region, because you have seen both of these words, and has it shifted over the past few years?
Well, it's a very good question. If you look at the GDP, United States GDP is $30 trillion. European GDP is about $21 trillion. Asia is about $50 trillion, of which China is about $20 trillion. Middle East, $2 trillion. So what is happening is there's been a shift due to geopolitics and geoeconomically to a point that Europe has been declining for regulation, for we're in Davos, and it's funny that Lagarde said, do not short Europe. Europe is shorting itself with the regulation. Here you see building, growth, expansion, vision. It's interesting this panel because you talk about India, okay? China is relocating significant manufacturing in Saudi Arabia, in the region, UAE, to address Africa, to address India. There is a 100% tariff that India has from China, even if they're allowed to import. Just like Brazil, 85%, just like Europe has got a 20% tariff, US implementing some tariff, but it's just balancing out. So what's happening is a lot of these repositioning allows, supported by, like, say, the Exim Bank in Saudi, helps finance the import as well as the export to Africa or to India, so or Latin America or Europe. So basically, there has been this shift. When you combine that to the fact that historically, in the case of Saudi, for example, as a leading, together with our cousin here in UAE, leading the local economies, what's happening is there has been a lot more shift. Originally was an exporter of oil and export of capital to the United States, significant. Huh? What's happening, and that's way before Trump, a $600 billion commitment or $1 trillion commitment. What's happening is a lot more because of the vision, multi-trillion dollars, revisited visions. There's a lot more investment inbound for the diversification of oil and gas. Diversification. So you continue to Saudi, by 2030 is going to be 100% sustainable from renewable. 100%.
Okay.
4 years. So basically means oil will continue to be produced for export, mainly India, China. And so the reinvestment into this vision adjustment, going from infrastructure, hospitality, entertainment, and here Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum did a magnificent job in Dubai, a role model for everybody, not only in the region, but globally, in making something out of nothing, to be honest, about 30 years ago, we didn't have oil or anything, and became a hub, magnificent hub from a tourist perspective, from a financial, from trading, logistics, and so forth. So the region is such that only have 2.8 billion, Muslim that had look into the Mecca and Medina, but you have a lot of the logistic structure. You have about 2.5 trillion people within 4 hours.
Yeah.
So there is a variety of reasons why these, and the families, of course, you invest local in data center, you invest in entertainment, in sport, in all types of...
Okay, Carmen, given I just have probably less than 30 seconds for each, I want to end with this question. Today, I'm going to build my portfolio on this stage, and from each one of you, I want you to pick one asset class, one theme, whatever, geographically, in the region, Saudi, India, to invest in. What would be this one thing? Let me start with you, Lou.
Well, we've been investing in data center, in infrastructure, obviously, which is
infrastructure,
solid.
data center.
Infrastructure, AI, quantum.
Okay.
Not just for instance. That's, I think, it's my first pick.
Okay. Beauty. Can you open the mic?
I think it will be almost in the same line of what you mentioned. It will
Data
be more
center,
towards
AI, quantum.
AI, quantum, and data. That's where we will invest.
Hassan, I want to diversify my portfolio. Can you help me out?
Yeah. I think one part would be in Taiwan, in semiconductors. One part would be India, software technologies. One part would be UAE, which is crypto and gaming.
I told you one thing. You don't have to diversify it for me.
Okay, just one thing would be...
Yeah, but just help me diversify because both of them, they chose, data centers and the quantum.
Semiconductors, Taiwan. That's the future.
Semiconductors, Taiwan. So we're still similar, industry.
From my end, I'll just repeat myself again. I would say not quantum computing, but quantum cryptography, because you have to be protected against that quantum threat. And that's kind of what we do, and that's
so sorry, again, quantum cryptography?
Cryptography, yeah, protecting against the quantum compute. And that's why the gentleman on my right has kindly invested in us. And I'll pass the mic to you.
Yeah, love that, man. Hey, I will say, there's one thing we missed, though, right? You know I love payments. You know I love Chikashi. You know she's going to be a unicorn. So that's covered. But we missed a fundamental reason why India are guaranteed to take over the world over the next 20 years, right? And it's not for the first time. India used to have 34% of global GDP before the Brits, right? That all went down to 2% afterwards. So this is a comeback story. This is not a breakthrough story. The reason why, on top of your three, and everything else, is Indian moms. They are absolutely terrifying. And there's 1.5 million kids trying to get into IIT. You got 23,000 of these poor children are making it out the other side. Badly damaged geniuses who are going out to the world fully armed with AI. There's nowhere in the world, nowhere, that compares with what's coming out of Indian schools today. So anywhere that harbors that type of talent and uses it is going to build the AI entrepreneurs of tomorrow. Indian moms.
So where was the investment after all?
I covered payments, but
Payments.
actually I would invest in Indian moms.
Okay.
Post-quantum payment, you mean?
Yeah, post-quantum payments.
For now.
Brian is so emphatic that I forgot what I was going to say. But, the three segments which are focused for us, which we have looked at. One is payments banking industry. We are looking at that to see how we can disrupt that. Second, we are looking at education. And third is healthcare. Of course, we have a denominator of technology, and then we have an overarching approach of being, the classical real estate infrastructure and boring oil and gas businesses. But I would put my money on these three things: education, technology, healthcare, and some bread butter businesses, oil and gas. And that's the reason why Dubai works beautifully for all of this.
All right, so I still have 30% of my portfolio I want to invest. And
I would say real estate, if you wish to multiply your growth, of course.
where?
Real estate where?
In Dubai, Iraq?
In Dubai, many good opportunities there in the market. New areas are in the plan of the agenda D33 and the Vision 2040. And also, we should not forget Ras Al Khaimah. Marjan Island is a very good opportunity as well to consider because of the Wynn Casino, which is coming there. Once the casino step in, prices are going 5 times, even 10 times sometimes. So we are here to assist if anybody interested into growing their wealth. So real estate is the option.
Thank you, Hind. And Denisa, we always have a place in the portfolio for Oman. Can you just guide us?
Well, I would like to generally answer your question because we are only 2 ladies here against all these men. And I want to say that what we truly have to invest, not because I'm a woman, but empowering women is something that we should really focus on investing. Because empowering women economically is not a social gesture. It is a must. And we have to have, in a fast-moving region where we're living at, we have to have an economical strategy, creating more spaces for women to lead. For example, coming from Oman, I'm very happy to see that Omani ladies are becoming very strong collaborators in the investment ecosystem of Oman, not only as an entrepreneurs, but as a CEO of big companies, as a shareholders, and government. We have a lot of ministers too. And in that sense, I'm very happy to witness this. And in my own path, in my own work as member of the board of one of the fastest growing media, Womanpreneur Middle East magazine. I'm happy to contribute to the expansion. We want to thank the magazine to Oman. And this initiative is focusing on creating more visibility for the Omani ladies and including mentorship, strong platforms, a lot of investment conversations. So this is what I want to say, invest in women empowering.
Thank you, Denisa. Thank you. Unfortunately, our time is up, but thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen. I truly enjoyed the conversation. Thank you.